Hey everyone, it's Jacqueline for PixieDustPhD. The day I'm filming this is May 10th, so the channel is officially 3 months old now. In this monthly creator update, I'm going to reflect on the filming locations that I have tried out these past 3 months. I'll go over my new Streamlined editing process, and of course we'll go over analytics as well as some other topics. So if you're a new creator or if you're thinking about starting a channel, stay tuned for some reflections. First, let's talk about filming locations. So I live in a relatively small place. It's around 900 square feet. Definitely not a tiny studio or anything, but there's not a lot to pick from. In month one, I think I filmed almost all, if not literally all, of the videos in our spare room. That has our twin bed for if we ever have guests, as well as our desk. It's sort of our office at home. Filming in that location worked, but setting up the filming took a lot of time, and I felt like that was kind of a waste of time, so I started exploring other options. I have filmed one video in our living room where I was just sitting on our couch, and then I had the camera on our coffee table in front of me. I felt similarly about that location as I did filming in the spare room, where the setup time took kind of a lot of time and getting everything placed correctly just wasn't efficient. Although it was nice that my dog really liked it and she did join in on that video, and it was pretty cute to have her sit next to me for part of it. Lately, I've been filming in our main bedroom. This is where we sleep. The setup time for this is actually incredibly fast because I have a mirror mounted on the wall behind me so I can set my camera up, hit record, just sort of peer around like this. And then I know what the frame looks like, so I know what's in the video, versus in the other locations I had to be doing a lot of back and forth to figure out where the camera was pointed. In the spare room, I have the camera up against a wall. I have that happening here now too. It's just that there's a mirror on this wall as opposed to in the spare room, there's not. And then in the living room, I had it on the coffee table. So I did set up a small like freestanding makeup mirror behind the camera to see. And that was definitely faster than in the spare room, but nowhere near as fast as this. I also just have like a small shelf set up on this table, and the camera is sitting on the shelf, which is right in front of the mirror, so it's already a good height. Versus in the living room, I had to find a couple of shoe boxes and textbooks to stack up on the coffee table to put the camera on top of to film. And in the spare room, I actually put the camera on top of my sewing machine. I also just don't have a blank wall really anywhere. I have a lot of stuff that I decorate the walls with, so there's not really a better place to film in our apartment in terms of how aesthetically pleasing it is. Like, they're all gonna be these sort of awkward spaces. But I think in here, at least, you know, the setup's really fast with the mirror directly behind the camera, and then behind me is our window, and I just close the curtains to have this like purple backdrop. And I think that's working out okay. I'm still toying with exactly where I think it's best to film. So should I be sitting here, this close to the camera, or should I sit further behind me, like pushed up against the bed? I did a couple videos where I was standing up against the bed. I liked the way they looked. I like having not just my head in the frame. I don't really love having those close-ups of me. But then the footage did feel kind of grainy. Like, I don't think my camera was focusing on me as well when I was standing up for some reason. Even though I've stood up in the spare room of approximately the same distance away, and that seemed to be fine. So I don't know. I'm still toying with filming locations. If you have a preference down below, let me know. One viewer did comment on the audio on one where I was further away from the camera being less good. In that particular video, I had actually turned the audio levels down because when I was editing, I felt like it was too loud. So that was really good feedback, and I'm going to keep that in mind going forward. A big change to the channel, at least for me, it really doesn't affect the viewers at all, is my editing process is way more streamlined now. Previously, the way I was editing and uploading to YouTube and doing all those steps, I ended up watching the full video at least 5 times, if not more. So a quick overview, after filming, I would clean up the audio in Audacity and then drop the video and cleaned up audio into HitFilm Express for editing. And once I was done with that, I would watch that all the way through. And then I would go back, and if I was satisfied, then I would add text or graphics or whatever on the overlay, effectively watching it through again. And then once all of those were in place, I would also watch it through again. And then I would export the video, and I would watch the exported video again to make sure everything looked good in my video player. And then I would upload it to YouTube. Now in YouTube, I do utilize auto captions, but they tend to be not very good. There's really no capitalization or punctuation, and of course it gets some words wrong. So I always go back and edit those auto captions. And when I'm doing that, basically you kind of have to watch the video once because you're editing the captions for every word that you're speaking. So that would be another full viewing for me. And then I would go in and add cards, and I would watch the whole video again as I was adding cards. And then I would go into the YouTube description, and in most of my videos, I will put timestamps with approximate topics, and so I would watch the video again to create those topics. So that was a lot of times of watching a video from beginning to start, and I realized I was wasting so much time doing that. So now my new Streamlined process has far less views. So basically I film the video, I clean up the audio, I move those files and hit Film Express. Nothing there has changed. But now as I'm editing the video, I'm adding the text overlays or graphics all at the same time. And then once I'm done with that, I don't do a full watch through. I just export it. After the exported video, I don't watch it before I upload it to YouTube now. It just gets uploaded to YouTube. And so my first real watch comes in when I'm editing the captions on YouTube. So while I'm editing the captions on YouTube in one tab, I have another tab open with cards. So as I come across keywords, I can add cards in that tab. And then I have another tab open with the YouTube video description where I can be adding the timestamps with the topics I want. And during this process, if I happen to notice something that I'm not satisfied with the video, like occasionally there will be a spelling error in the text that I added in, or recently upon this first watch when I was adding the captions, I noticed that I had put some screenshots of the Walt Disney World website in, and I had left my bookmarks bar up. And my bookmarks bar contains some bookmarks that I use pretty often for work, but especially also for my old job. So I need to clean my bookmarks up, but it was some information I thought maybe I didn't want to be on YouTube. So if I notice anything like that when I'm watching through the captions, I finished doing the captions still, and I finished doing the description with the timestamps. I abandoned doing the cards for the most part. And when I'm done with the captions and descriptions, I download that timed captions file, and then I save the description. Basically, I copy it into a notepad and save that file. And typically within that description, I'll leave notes for me about where I want to put cards in later. So then I go ahead and delete that video on YouTube after having watched the full thing once. If there's something that I'm not happy with, I'll go back into my Hit Film Express project, fix those typos or whatever that I'm not happy with. It usually doesn't take long, and then re-export the video. And then I upload this video again onto YouTube, but I already have my description done and the title, so I just copy paste that stuff from what I worked on before. The captions are already done, so I just upload those. I do have to go ahead and add the cards and the end screen in, but that doesn't take that long since I've already denoted what I want for all of that. So in my new Streamlined process, I do lose time if I notice that I want to continue to edit a video after it's uploaded to YouTube in exporting time from Hit Film Express and then uploading time to YouTube. Basically, I'm doing both of those twice. But that isn't active time. That's not me actively watching the video and looking for what I need to fix. That is something that I can set and then I can go do laundry or do dishes or play video games or whatever. So that doesn't really bother me, honestly. So I've cut down my total views of the video during the editing process from start to finish exponentially, basically. I don't know how many it was before, at least 5, probably more for every video. And now it's 1. So I'm pleased that as I'm continuing this hobby, I am picking up skills and learning things and fine tweaking processes to make them work better for me. Last month, I talked a bit about my productivity and how I felt like that had dropped. I think that's still true. Right now, this video will go up on May 12th. The May 16th video is completely done and dusted, ready to go. The video for May 20th has been filmed but not edited, and then the video for May 24th has been scripted but not even filmed. And then after that, I don't even have anything scripted. My personality is such that I would just be more comfortable with this if I was 3 or 4 full videos ahead, meaning they are uploaded, they're captioned, the descriptions are ready, like they are totally fully ready to go. Instead, I've been hovering in the 1 or 2 maybe videos fully done, and then also not much on the back burner. So until recently, I've always had at least 3 scripts ready to go. So once I found time to film and edit, I could bang those out pretty fast. And now even I've fallen behind on that. So I do still think my productivity is slipping, but as I said last month, I'm sort of just trying to be kind to myself about all of this. And for now, I have been able to maintain uploading every 4 days, so even though I'm not at a place where I want to be as far as being ahead, it's still working out okay. The last thing I wanted to note before we move on to analytics is really talking about the YouTube Disney community. Originally, I had planned to start this channel in late November or like December 1st at the latest. My most recent trip to Walt Disney World was in mid-November, and so I thought that would be a great place to get a lot of footage and maybe start uploading vlogs. I secured this Gmail account as well as the Twitter and Instagram handles back in September, I think, so I had been planning for this sort of November or December start time for the channel for a bit. But a really great job opportunity came up, so I ended up switching jobs in mid-November, like almost right after I got back from Walt Disney World. And so I think anyone who's switched jobs can sympathize in that it takes a little bit of time to sort of get up to speed with everything, to learn the new ropes, to feel comfortable with your duties, to get on your boss's good side, all of that. So I ended up focusing really on my job and my career development and growth than the YouTube channel for the first few months. So this channel didn't actually start until mid-February instead of like the beginning of December. And by the time the channel started in mid-February, I felt like uploading vlogs or anything similar from a trip that was several months ago at that point, and even more months ago now, it's now May, would be irrelevant. But I have since learned through the Disney community and especially the other vloggers on Twitter, I find it so easy to interact with people on Twitter personally, that That was a mistake. Basically, people are still uploading vlogs from their fall trips, and it seems fine. Like, the community for the most part I think is really kind, and especially now that folks are more or less on some form of lockdown depending on where you live, I think they're eager to see the content no matter what. Unfortunately for me, I ultimately didn't take very much footage when I was down in Walt Disney World in November because I knew about my new job starting and I knew that the channel was going to get pushed back, so I didn't really see the point. So I definitely won't be uploading anything that's really a true vlog, but I might do some reflections from the trip, like dining reviews or similar. But the overarching point of this being, if you have footage that you think is old or maybe too old to upload, that's not true, and definitely move forward with it if you want to. Okay, so let's go over the YouTube analytics, aka the numbers. So in the third month of the channel, I had 221 views from 123 unique viewers. This equated to 14 total watch hours. The average view duration was about 3 minutes 47 seconds, which equates to around 37%. I had just over 2,600 YouTube impressions, and 14.1% of the impressions were from YouTube recommending my content. And during month 3, I got 5 new subscribers. Almost 82% of my total views were from people who were not subscribed to my channel. I don't know if, 82% of your views from people who aren't subscribed to your channel is a normal amount, or if that's exceedingly high, or maybe even a little bit low. I need to do some research into that. My gut instinct says it's a little bit high, and I know personally I would much rather that percentage go down, meaning, at least half of my views are from people who are actually subscribed to the channel. Lifetime channel stats. Month 3 brings us to 380 total views from 197 unique viewers. We are at 31 subscribers total and 20 total watch hours. The average view duration is now 3 minutes 9 seconds, which equates to about 36%. I have just over 5,200 total impressions, and 9.5% of those are from YouTube recommending my content. So if we compare month 3 to month 2, once again, I think largely we're doing really well. The views more than doubled, the number of unique viewers tripled, watch hours more than tripled, average view duration increased. I have more impressions, and more importantly to me, the percentage of impressions coming from YouTube recommending my content more than doubled. So I am winning more at the YouTube algorithm. But just like in month 2, the one stat that I'm struggling with is the number of subscribers. I believe I had 14 subscribers in month 1, 11 in month 2, and now 5 in month 3. So it's just continuing this downward trajectory. I know getting subscribers is a high hurdle for YouTubers, but it still is disappointing. Last month I had made it my goal to get to 100 subscribers by my birthday, which is in mid-July. So we're really only 2 months out from that now, and I only have 31 total subscribers. While all the other stats for my YouTube channel are increasing, more than doubling for the most part, and that's super, super encouraging, the subscribers number is still very disappointing and discouraging, and it makes me think it's really not realistic to think that I'll get to 100 subscribers by mid-July. I am going to keep that as my goal, though. I think it's important to have aspirations. Both for month 3 as well as the lifetime of the channel, my best viewed video is The Hidden Cost of Disney Vacation Club. Here I'm talking about annual dues, and I do some really, really basic mathematic modeling to look at what this contract might cost you over the lifetime of the contract. And I did this for 4 examples for 4 different resorts. That video ended up being really long. I think it was over 20 minutes total, which is not at all the point of this channel, but I did condense it as much as I thought was possible while still providing all the relevant information and examples for people to go ahead and consider further. I am thrilled that that video is doing so well because I put a lot of work and effort and time into it. That being said, it does sort of confirm everything I've read about the YouTube algorithm preferring longer videos, right? That's over 20 minutes. So that's kind of disappointing, although I guess not surprising. And in general, it seems like my DVC content is doing much better than my Walt Disney World content. The second most viewed video on my channel now is the one explaining use year, and I'm so elated about that because it really had a slow start. It didn't really take off until recently as far as views. And the third most viewed video is about banking and borrowing DVC points. Right now, my video about renting DVC points in order to sort of try before you buy is doing pretty poorly. I think it currently only has 6 views, which I am a little bit surprised about because not only is it a DVC video, which are tending to do better for me, but it also is over 10 minutes. Again, that's not intentional, but I just went through an example and it took some time. That video was only published on May 4th, though, I believe, so maybe it just needs some time to accumulate views. It may also just be, though, that renting DVC points is a pretty commonly covered topic, even within the realm of DVC, so it may just not be that interesting to people. Moving on to other social media, on Twitter, I now have 178 followers, and I'm following 326 accounts. So Twitter has been great. I really love Diz Twitter. I think that that's a great community, and I'm glad to be more engaged in that. I never really understood Follow Fridays before I started this channel. They felt kind of icky. There's a Twitter user whose handle is Quirky Fox, and they do pretty long Follow Friday lists. And sometimes they've included me, which I am super thankful for. But regardless, it's been a really great place for me to go and find other people's Twitters who have Disney-focused Twitters for me to follow and for me to engage more in the community. So I think I understand Follow Friday now. And then over on Instagram, I have 59 followers and I'm following 106 accounts. I've reflected on this in both of my past monthly creator updates. Instagram is still kind of spammy to me as far as when I post content, it just kind of gets spammed with comments like sub for sub or message requests from randos about being YouTube friends and that kind of stuff. But I do still love scrolling through my feed, and I think I'm following some really awesome accounts. And this isn't really social media, but last month I had said I didn't really understand TubeBuddy. I spent some time this month sort of exploring TubeBuddy and figuring out its functionalities, etc. It seems like a lot of the really good stuff is the paid stuff, which is maybe why I don't feel like TubeBuddy is super valuable for me personally, because I have the free account. So I may continue to sort of futz around with the free version of TubeBuddy. And if you use the free version of TubeBuddy and find it very useful for a particular thing, please do let me know. But I don't think I'm at the point where I want to pay to upgrade to premium TubeBuddy and really get use out of its functionalities. If you're watching this and you have a more established YouTube channel, I would really appreciate it if you let me know approximately how long it took you to get to 100 subscribers. That's the main thing I'm focused on right now, and it's the thing that I'm struggling with the most. Definitely with views, unique viewers, and watch hours, I'm really happy with how month 3 went. And I'm looking forward to what hopefully is another month of growth for month 4. Before this video gets too long and too rambling, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. There will be a new Disney-focused video upload in 4 days. And we'll see you real soon at PixieDustPhD.